Hello and welcome to the Sun Times Online Desi Martini. My name is Sandeep, and right now I am sitting with the first evicted contestant of Bigg Boss 13, Dalljiet Kaur. Hello, Dalljiet.
Hi.
Dalljiet, at the very outset, let me ask you, how was the entire experience been? I mean, it was just the beginning of the show and you were evicted. What kind of emotions went through you when you kind of first came to know about the fact?
So, I was very disappointed because I definitely did not expect that I would be the first one to be evicted. Because I was playing it from the heart, I was playing it to be real, which I would do it all over again. And for me to make connections means a very real thing, even if it is a game. And this is a game of connections apparently. So I wanted to play it correctly. I was trying to build real relationships, which was happening. And it was an experience that I'm going to hold the rest of my life.
And talking about the very show, the format of the show, it's very voyeuristic in nature. How did you? I mean, did you, to a certain extent, find yourself to be a little bit, on the guard when you were in front of so many cameras all the time?
I am always in front of the camera and I don't feel that I need to put up any guard because I have nothing to hide. I am this person off camera, on camera. I am not somebody who's all over the place. I'm not an attention seeker. So this is what I was even there. And the fights which did not make sense to me or I thought were fake, I was not a part of. But wherever I was being attacked, I retaliated. Wherever there was a task, I played like a man. I was physically, mentally very, very strong.
At the same time, during your tenure in the house, people kind of noticed it for a fact that you've been very quiet. And you've not really gone overboard. And that particular trait in your in the way you were in the house was pretty much appreciated. So, awesome. To a certain extent, no one quite expected you to be out in the very first go.
Yeah.
Who did you find, as in who, according to you, would have been the first one to be evicted, for that matter?
Because with the nominations that were going on, I was very sure that Koena will go because not because of anything, she's very strong as well, but she's not a very active part in the house. At the same time, she did not have any connect at all with most
Any of the
people.
contestants?
Yeah.
Okay.
So relatively, I thought she was the one who should have gone, and I did not think I deserved to go at all. Not because I was not speaking a lot or whatever, like you said. That's part of me. But I was a very active participant. I was a part of the kitchen. I was a part of all the debates. I was standing up for myself. I was giving 100% to the task. So I did to the T to my capability. I am not somebody, like I said in the beginning, I'm not all over the place. But I am there where it's required. So I don't know in 24 hours how much was shown. But now my real relations were building.
And who, according to you, could actually bond with on the show?
A lot of them. I think Siddharth Shukla, Rashmi, Debo, Mahira, even Sana, Paras, Asim, Abuji. I don't think there was anybody. Even Shifali in the end was trying to kind of make a connect with me, which was looking real. I don't know. So I think I was having a relation with everybody, like on a connection basis.
Talking about the game, for that matter, everybody has a strategy.
Yes.
Did you have any strategy per se, or before you could practice or perhaps exhibit that, you were out?
If I'd had a strategy, I wouldn't be here. I was shooting till 1 week before I entered the house. I did not get the time. Also, if I'd had the time, knowing myself, I wouldn't have strategized. There were a lot of friends who've seen Bigg Boss who came to me and said, I do like this, don't act like this, don't act like that. But before I was entering the house, they said, what, just forget, chuck everything, just be yourself. And I just stuck to that mantra because I thought, being myself might help. Because I am not a bad person, I'm a very strong human being. But I do take time to build relations. I can't just make it for the heck of it. So I think that is what probably 2 weeks was very less.
Absolutely.
For everything.
What exactly do you make out of the game that Siddharth Shukla and Paras is playing, for that matter?
Yeah, I don't think Siddharth Shukla is playing any game per se because I think he's very, he's not trying to build any relationship for the heck of it. He's not trying to fake anything. He's a very strong guy. He does become angry, which I told him also while coming, not to be personal. But he's a very strong contender. Paras, on the other hand, I think is started faking the whole love thing. I think it might have become attraction, but it became love too soon, which was questionable. Then there was a triangle from nowhere. Then there was jealousy from nowhere. Then there was a breakup. Within 2 weeks, I think there was just too many things happening, which was too unreal. And these kind of emotions don't exist, according to me, in real life.
Do you know for a fact that Akansha Jani had actually come out and she said that I don't quite understand why Paras said that I'm not his girlfriend or something of that sort. So what, according to you, make out of Paras's character? And is he doing whatever he's doing to stay in the limelight, to stay in front of the camera, just the way he is?
See, I can't comment on his character because it's a personal choice. He did mention about Akanksha. He did say that he wasn't very happy with the relationship that he was in. He spoke very loud and clear about that. And then he was attracted to Sana at that point of time. And there was one point of time
Was
when
it
he
a
was...
real attraction or was it?
Well, when they so-called broke up within a week, then he did mention to me that Akanksha is waiting for me, and then I don't know. I just think it was too less a time and too many emotions happening, which cannot be real. So yeah, so I can't comment on his character, but yeah, it was questionable to so many things brooding from him.
What do you have to say about Rashmi?
She is a very strong human being. I know that her journey has been, she's faced a lot of things as well in her life. She's soft. She gets emotional very soon. She takes time to retaliate, to speak up. And I think she's starting to do that now. And there is some kind of a grudge between Shukla and her, which probably professionally had started, and now they're not able to kind of end it. So that is what keeps cropping up. But I just think they need a closure, and I think that they'll have eventually.
Okay. When you're talking about all the female contestants in the show, Aarti Singh and Shanaz Gill, they're actually standing out precisely because of the fact that, Shanaz's character and the way she talks, and, there's a certain, I wouldn't say a twang, but then there's a way she talks, a very, I don't know, it's kind of pretty weird.
Yeah.
Does she fake it, or do you think she's faking it? That's exactly the way she is.
Shehnaz has been the biggest question of my life from the time I've entered the show.
Okay.
Because I don't think anybody can fake love and then jealousy within 2 weeks. And secondly, I think she is innocent. I will not take that away from her. But I still think that she is playing the card of innocent to a level that is not true. So I do think that she knows that, if I'm doing this, it works, doing that, it works. So I don't think it's real to another level. Aarti, on the other hand, I think is quite real. She is still figuring it out. She's confused. She's rather emotional, but she's still figuring it out. So she's real, for sure.
Okay. In the first task, when the cow dung was spread on the bodies of these contestants, for that matter, Koina and Siddharth, they emerged to be the winners, for that matter. So what exactly do you have to say about Koina and the fact that she can endure a lot, and how she kind of carries herself?
I completely disagree to your analysis, because I think Koina barely ate. She kept saying, "Give it to me in my hand," and she kept screaming back and getting very rude to Mahira, who was feeding her. On the other hand, I think I'll give it to Siddharth Day for that. He at least ate what I gave him. I was giving him chips though, but still, he said that he didn't like it or whatever. But I think we were the strong contenders. I ate half a bowl of red chilies with green chilies, with I don't know what cheese and what cocoa powder and how many green chilies I ate, and I vomited almost 3 big, polythene.
Paper bags. Okay.
Yeah, and like it was full by the end of it. So I think Mahira, when she was thrown all the bleach on her, like her entire skin was burning. So I think she went through much more physical. Debolina, by the end of it, had bad stomachache. She went like 12 times and she was given medication as much as I was. So I think we went through physically much more than anybody else. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about Koina and the way she is, the way she's carrying herself?
I just think that Koina puts up a very disciplined and very strict thing around her, which I don't believe is...
so that's an external facade.
It is a facade because she doesn't follow it. If I'm saying, you're rude, you should be more disciplined, then I need to do that. I need to, I'll preach if I'm following it myself, which I did not think she did it. She used to put up this whole discipline thing around her. She would say, this is not right, that is not right. But she would herself keep everything dirty. Or, she would use her eye tissue papers and just throw it there. Otherwise, while going around, she would say, ye kitna kharab rakha hai and all of that. And then she would say rude to, Shukla is very rude and all of that. But when she said stupid to me, she never apologized. Though I did say that this is no way to talk and you need to mind your language, she never apologized. So in my head, I was like, you can't tell this to others and not do it yourself. So.
When you're talking about the contestants and the way the people are playing games inside the house and stuff like that, Siddharth Day, for instance, he actually came across to be someone who's very naive and someone very sweet and benign and stuff like that. But this chameleon-esque, change that suddenly, he kind of brought in front of the camera. What do you got to say about that? The fact that, I'm sure everybody's asked you about the fact that he's suddenly taken up your baby in the
Yes.
conversation.
So it started with him being very mean to, like he passed a very nasty comment to Amisha Patel when she had come, which we all got offended at on a girl level. Then we kind of let it go, thinking, we gave him a benefit of doubt. Then he went ahead and said few things to Rashmi, then to Debalina, then to Shukla. Then he kind of crossed the limit by using my son's name in it. And when in the same conversation, when he started with the with my son's name, I kind of let it go. But then he continued by saying that whatever you're doing will come on your son. I was like, dude, are you like really like
So indirectly
cursing my child for what? Like for what? Like there is a woman out there who's saying she has a boyfriend, is looking at you and saying meri aankhon mein aankhein dal ke dekho, and you're buying that crap, and to prove that as a justified thing, you are trying to make me look bad desperately, and then you're using all this thing. It is not required. And I just thought that then I kind of got very offended. He did apologize, but it kind of didn't look like from his body language. And then he kept telling Salman sir that I want to go out, and then he would cry in front of the camera and say I want to leave the show, I've got so much waiting. And then when there was a fishery thing that we had to do yesterday, so I told him, I'm giving you a chance to go. Now that you're crying and you're like doing a hoo-ha about it, I'm giving you a chance. Don't pick up your fishes, you'll get nominated. There's a big chance you will go. He picked up his fishes and saved himself. So I was like, dude, you don't stick to what you say, and you're clearly not a man of your words. And also it's a big facade that he puts up. I'm not very fond of the way he speaks and what he is.
So Dalljiet, what you've got to say about Azim, the fact that he's been constantly harping on the fact that the Kashmir issue is actually being brought up in the forefront. Do you think, what kind of a contestant is he?
So I think Asim doesn't really mean anything in the way that it was put up, which is why I had actually shouted at Paras that you're bringing up a wrong angle for him. He harmlessly meant in a good way that he is from a small town in Kashmir, and he's made it big, and he was very proud of that. He did not try to say that I'm white and somebody's black, because he's a rapper. He's come from, like, he was in South Africa or whatever, so he in his rap kind of said a few things which was harmless, and I honestly did not think that he meant it in any wrong fuel at all. And he's a nice kid. Like, he wants to make his body, he wants to eat, he wants to steal everybody's egg and say, aapka vrat hai, mujhe de do, and like, he's harmless. And he wants to do his task well, and I don't think it was in any bad spirit.
How is he as a person or a co-contestant?
He's a nice guy, co-contestant. I've just seen him in one task where he got up, unfortunately, so I've not seen his team spirit, but he's a very strong contestant. I think when it will come to the battle, he will be a good contestant, I think. He's impulsive. He's definitely impulsive. He kind of abuses immediately, retaliates, but he's not a bad guy at all. And he's real. What he is. So I like that about him.
Okay, so my final question to you, Dalljiet, is who do you think are the three main contenders for the finale, even though it's a very early part?
Very early, yeah. I think Siddharth Shukla, Debalina, and either Rashmi or Mahira.
So I just want three names.
It could be Rashmi or Mahira. It's too early.
So Rashmi, Mahira, and Siddharth Shukla.
And Debalina. Sadly, I've got 4 names.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to the end of this lovely conversation with Dalljiet. My name is Sandeep with Hindustan Times Online, Desi Martini. Thank you so much.